Happy Saturday, my friends. You are tuned in to Fax Me TV. I am Stephen Lancaster, and I'm a little scatterbrained this morning. It is Saturday here in Jacksonville, North Carolina. I am at the shop, so I've had customers in and out, and I swear I've been trying to pull off this live since this morning. But anyway, so we're going to be talking about a lot today. First and foremost, I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for your donations. You guys are making such a difference. But today we're going to be talking a little bit more about Cole Thomas Allen and that surveillance footage of when he took the White House Correspondents' Dinner by storm. And I just want to look at that surveillance a little bit and break it down for you guys just a little deeper, because I have some questions, some things that really seem odd to me. And I want to see how you Factivists feel about it as well. Also on the plate, we're going to be exposing the fact that Candace Owens has had a disdain for Turning Point USA since 2019. Okay? And this comes from a former employee of Turning Point USA. We're also going to be covering a little bit of Ben Shapiro. I love Ben Shapiro. Some people either love him or they either hate him. I've always admired Ben Shapiro. He's a really intelligent guy. And I was tickled last night because I was watching some Ben Shapiro, and he was like literally echoing not because of me, but he was literally the same points he makes in this video that we're going to watch here today. I was literally making during my live yesterday. So that made me feel good. Like, hey, me and Ben Shapiro are like thinking along the same lines. We're also going to be pointing out more hypocrisy from Candace Owens. That's right. You know, she is bragging about this new lawsuit from Brian Harpole. You know, the defamation suit. I'm sure you guys have heard about it. I talked about it yesterday in my live. It's all over the internet. She's trying to act like she's unfazed. That is certainly not the case. But we're going to be pointing out some hypocrisy when it comes to Candace Owens and her defamation cases. We will also be looking at her desperate attempts to make more money, because she knows she is being sued to hell and back, and she needs more money from you people. And I made a nice little funny video yesterday. Some of you have seen it, some of you haven't, and we're going to piggyback off of that video today with something else that really just, follows suit of that video I made yesterday. Let's see what else we got going on today. I'm also going to be sharing an interview from Newsmax? Let me look at my notes. Newsmax, David Harris Jr. I follow him on Facebook. He does a show called The Pulse on Newsmax. And the video I'm going to be showing you is actually, it's filmed from a cell phone from the live show when it was airing or whatnot. Whether they filmed it when it was airing or they filmed it after the fact. The point I'm getting at is this particular episode at this moment is not available as an archive. It's not available as something you can go and play back. At least online, I've went to Fubo TV. I went to Sling TV. I was going to buy subscriptions to this stuff just so I could get this because I wanted to show you guys. But a Factivist messaged me about it, and she took the time to film this broadcast with her cell phone and send it to me. So that's why it's going to look like it was filmed with a cell phone, because it was filmed with a cell phone. But it's very interesting information. David Harris Jr. had Ryan Morrow on his show, and he exposes the fact, something that we've all hinted about, that Candace Owens has ties to Russia. That's right. She has Russian ties. You guys are well aware she worships John Mappin, who has ties to the Scientology. This is just unraveling more and more and more. So we're going to be covering that today as well. A lot to show you, my friends. Also, black people, they aren't having it. They are not having it with Candace Owens. That's right. The one community that you would think would be backing Candace Owens, because she's the one out there now crying racism. Trump is racist for posting that Time Life magazine cover, that Time magazine cover that I created. And, you know, you saw it. If you watched my live yesterday and you watched my live the day before, it's really clear that Candace is playing the race card, right? But she's not going to get any help this time from the black community. I'm going to tell you why. So lots in store, guys. Let's jump right into this, and let's start with the simple stuff first. We're looking at a TikTok video, okay? Natalie Jean, that you can see up there, we're friends on X, and she had posted this, and she says Candace has hated Turning Point at least as far back as 2019. Now, how did she determine that? Well, she shares the video of this girl. Her name is Ashley St. Clair. She used to work with Turning Point, and in the video itself, which is irrelevant to what I'm about to say, she's talking about Turning Point and her getting fired from Turning Point. Okay, so somebody asks on that, would you ever join Candace on a podcast? Well, Ashley says she was actually one of the only people who called while I was in the hospital and was like, F Turning Point for axing you. So right there in 2019, Candace is telling this former employee, clearly has contact with her, go figure, telling this former employee, Ashley St. Clair, to F Turning Point. This was 7 years ago. She has been holding this disdain. So I just thought I would point that out, that there's just another little piece of the puzzle unraveling. You know, Candace wants to make this out like all of her disdain and turning on Turning Point and all of the people involved and Erica Kirk is because of what happened to Charlie. That's not the case at all. And if you guys dig yourself, you will find older interviews, news articles, people that used to work for Turning Point telling you flat out that Candace hated Charlie Kirk. Hated him. But she wants to pretend she was his best friend. And of course he is. You're making millions off of him. So there you guys go. 2019, F Turning Point for firing you is what Candace told this girl. So moving on, I want to share Ben Shapiro's video from yesterday. As I alluded to at the beginning of the show, he literally is saying the same exact thing I said on my show yesterday before his show. Again, he's not saying it because I did. There's no tie there at all. No tie there at all. I'm just a huge fan of Ben Shapiro. Was tickled to death to literally see him do a 9-minute video that echoed everything I did yesterday. So this is pretty cool. Check out this video from Ben Shapiro, and we'll be right back.
In today's news surrounding Candace Owens, Erica Kirk has now come out and condemned Candace directly after months of Candace implying, openly stating that Erica was complicit in Charlie's death. Finally, Erica Kirk came out and said something. And by the way, I have to say, as somebody who was saying from literally the first moment this sort of crap started circulating, that it's garbage and terrible and horrible and evil what people are doing to Erica, as somebody who laments the fact that that's somehow a controversial statement in some right-wing circles and that where are her allies? The fact that she has to come out and defend herself here from this nonsense is indicative of a moral collapse on the part of the pseudo-right. It's disgusting that Erica has to somehow come out and defend herself from bizarre charges that she's involved in a cover-up of the murder of her husband. She's the mother of his kids. It's disgusting. Disgusting that she has to do this. Well, yesterday, in a much noted internet moment, she called out Candace Owens for her disgusting conspiracism. Here she was.
Every morning I wake up to a new headline lying about me. I have comedians dressing up in whiteface. I have people saying I'm not fit to be CEO. And I have Candace Owens claiming I murdered my husband. And the list goes on and on and on.
And as she points out, she is now under a security threat because of this sort of stuff, which of course is true. I mean, by the way, I know this kind of stuff is true because I know where my security threats come from as well. Here is Erica saying that if you keep stripping people of their humanity, then this is where you end up.
In this culture we're living in, absorbs disagreement as a form of personal betrayal. It turns having an opposing viewpoint into a moral crime worthy of punishment. And here's what I've realized through all of this, truly, having lived through quite literal hell these past 7 months, if you strip someone of their humanity long enough, you will arrive at the chilling conclusion that they don't deserve to exist at all.
Okay, so Erica finally spoke out. And then Candace denied everything because she's a coward. So she put out a tweet, quote, very uncomfortable to watch, painful prompt to read, a speech clearly written by someone else, objectively terrible. So they will now pay for people to tell us otherwise. Also, of everything I've ever said about Erica, she chooses to respond to something I never said. They always lie. I'm not sure there's a bigger liar in American life than Candace Owens. I mean, truly. An astonishing liar. So it turns out that a person named Aubrey Leitch was texting with Candace Owens, and Andrew Colvett released these texts. And in the text, she literally accuses Erica Kirk of murder. So this person, Aubrey Leitch, and Candace were texting each other during you remember part of the saga is when Erica was forced basically to go and sit down with Candace while she was making these crazy accusations. This is just before the TPUSA event at the end of last year. And this person wrote, I assume she's coming to you? This is actually so wild. And Candace said, and she has apparently been preparing since yesterday evening. And this Aubrey Leitch person said, been preparing explanations for all the lies they have told, I assume. If Colvett and her have any common sense, they see the online narrative and understand that their support is fading very rapidly. And Candace said, she is coming here, and yes, absurd, they need to prepare. And then this Aubrey Leitch person wrote back, geez, that's actually crazy. I'm so intrigued to hear how it goes. I got your back. Go Max. And she wrote back, I'm asking everything. First question, why did you murder your husband? So, yes, Candace is a liar. And here is Candace making a wild series of accusations ranging from complicity of Erica in the murder to all sorts of other accusations surrounding Erica. She is truly an awful human being. And honestly, if you are an audience member of Candace who foments this sort of evil, because she makes money off of you. The way she makes money is by spewing trash into the public sphere, and then she makes money off it through advertising. You know, that's how she does it. So if she's monetizing your gullibility, then you are complicit in this nonsense. Here is Candace.
That right there is why it is impossible for me to think that Erica Kirk is not complicit somehow. Straight to jail for questioning at least Erica. I have seen enough, ladies and gentlemen. I've seen enough. Erica Kirk should be dragged into a police precinct for questioning. Like I said, the amount of evidence that is now piling up, I would say against Erica Kirk, is almost akin to an NBC Dateline episode.
I don't want to say anything that's controversial. She did it, but I don't want
It just screams at me that this was an inside job. It reeks of an inside job. That is how I feel.
But she never said any of that. She never said it. By the way, she lies about a lot of stuff, as it turns out. Like, most recently, she lied about the fact that her husband was allegedly arrested for a DUI in August 2023. She said it wasn't true. It turns out that there was a police report showing that her husband, George, who is a British immigrant who now has dual citizenship, at the time I don't believe he did, that he was found on the side of a highway. More alcohol than human. Apparently his blood alcohol level was 0.261, which is 3.3 times the legal limit, somewhere in that neighborhood. He was also wandering on the side of the road in possession of a firearm. She lied about that too. She said that never happened. Apparently, that police report is now widely available. Also, a member of Charlie's security team, the head of his security, has now filed a defamation lawsuit against Candace for saying that he and Erica conspired to murder Charlie. According to the lawsuit, quote, Candace Owens, a wealthy, influential, and well-known conspiracy theorist with a massive social media following, falsely accused Brian Harpole of conspiring to assassinate Charlie Kirk. She did so in coordination with Mitchell Snow, who fed Owens a completely and obviously fabricated story that Brian Harpole met with Army intelligence officers and Erica Kirk, Charlie's now widow, at Fort Huachuca to plan the murder. Unsurprisingly, this lawsuit follows. There are 6 counts in the lawsuit, ranging from defamation to false light invasion of privacy to civil conspiracy to defame to aiding and abetting defamation. He's demanding a jury trial. Again, the fact that Erica has been forced to now defend herself, the fact that there's a lawsuit about all of this, it doesn't just show that Candace Owens is quite a terrible human being, which clearly she is. It also shows the absolute unbelievable cowardice of so many people who have been hugging her for the last 8 months. True cowardice. And if you think that the sort of vile, toxic garbage that she's been spewing into the public sphere has no impact, know that the left has picked it up as well. Jennifer Welch, who again is sort of, I have no idea why this person is in some way popular with the left, but you know, they pick weird models for sure. Jennifer Welch dressed up like Erica Kirk to tell Erica Kirk that she is a racist fascist because Erica Kirk, you know, is pursuing the great crime of defending herself from charges that she murdered her husband or is complicit in a cover-up of said murder.
Make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you pre-order my book, which I would like to dedicate to one Erica Kirk, not today fascist. And Erica, the person that I'm talking about today, fascist, is you. You are the racist fascist about whom I am talking to. The work that your husband's company and that you were doing to America's youth to make them racist, narrow-minded, hateful, and bat crazy is an absolute disgrace. And thank you for the outfit, #inspo. Thank you very much for that. It's been a lot of fun. Make sure you subscribe to our channel. Make sure you pre-order my book,
God,
Not
the
Today
absolute
Fascist. Punch, you're welcome for
ugly
your
cattiness, but she's making money off of it.
No, I'm serious.
Disgusting. Disgusting stuff, obviously. But this is also who the Democrats have become.
Welcome back, my friends. You just watched a video of Ben Shapiro, pretty much echoing the same feelings I have about Candace Owens and the Erica Kirk saga. I thought it was really good. You know, props to Ben Shapiro. He is one of the only high profile, huge platform people who has been calling Candace out since this all started. You got to give the guy credit. You know, where Megyn Kelly and Tucker Carlson just ran and tucked their tails. You know, Dan Bongino now, of course, he's big, he's huge, he's my man Dan, you know, and he's doing it too. But Ben Shapiro really is the one that took it to the hoop when it needed to be. And that's nice to see from somebody with a big platform. That tells you, you know, Ben isn't worried. He isn't concerned about being canceled and losing money. You know what I'm saying? He gives it to you honest, and that's why I've always respected Ben. But moving on to these lawsuits with Candace Owens, and I'm showing you on the screen right now. Yesterday, Candace made a post, and I made sure before I took a screenshot of it that I highlighted the date and time. This was at 6:18 p.m. yesterday. And she says that every claim that she has made about Erica Kirk, stop with the BS Twitter trends. Okay, I have made and I have not edited any of my past statements in light of the Brian Harpole's lawsuit. And she says, I look forward to the power of subpoena. Okay, so she's acting tough. She's acting big and bad like she always does. And when I say she always does, I'm going to show you another example in the past where she has literally done this same thing. Okay, so I, of course, responded to her because I wanted this time stamped. I wanted it screenshotted so I could later bring it back up. I said, the power of subpoena will do nothing for you, and you know it. In fact, here's what you're going to do. You're going to have your attorneys push for dismissal because you don't want Brian to have subpoena power. Then you'll go back on your show and come up with some excuse for why you tried to get it dismissed. When that request is denied, you'll pivot to a new narrative. In the end, it doesn't matter. This is just the beginning. You're toast, and you know it. So right now, she's bragging, thinking because of this lawsuit, she's going to be she's going to have the ability to access, discovery with the power of subpoena. She's going to be able to pull evidence from the Charlie Kirk case. No, she's not. This is how stupid she is. This lawsuit has nothing to do with the Charlie Kirk investigation or case. It has to do with the defamation, Candace. So actually, Brian is in a better position with the power of subpoena, because that means now he can subpoena your phone records, your email records, everything. Okay. So while you're sitting there talking tough, you're actually not, because we know exactly what's going to happen, because history has taught us what you do. Let's take a look at Candace Owens on Tucker Carlson after Macron filed the lawsuit, right? When the Macrons, however you say their name, when they filed that lawsuit, Candace acted big and bad. Now, I want you to watch this clip when she's talking to Tucker, okay? That the Macrons are going to be the ones to try to dismiss this. I'm not going to try to dismiss it. Just watch, let it speak for itself, and then we'll come back and go from there.
I think they're banking on us dismissing it. I think one of two options.
What does that mean?
You can first file to dismiss the case because you're going, hi, we have the First Amendment right. This is crazy. It's coming from Paris. I mean, like, why on earth would we honor this at all? Secondly, it's like, are we really going to allow the French president to come in here and like stifle my right to speech? I think they want us to dismiss it.
So you're not going to try to have the case dismissed?
I certainly do not want to have the case dismissed.
Amazing.
Yeah,
I've never heard that
we're having,
before.
I mean, we're having these discussions.
Guys, I just want to linger on this for a moment, having been around a lot of lawsuits. I've never heard anybody say, I don't want a well-funded case against me to be dismissed.
It's how I feel. And the reason that I feel that way truly,
amazing.
Tucker, is because
You're being
this
serious.
is so much bigger.
All right, so you just watched Candace talking to Tucker Carlson about the Bridget case, right? She was talking tough, man. Let me tell you. But what did Candace actually turn around and do? A month later, a month after she said all of that to Tucker Carlson, on September 12th, she filed a motion to dismiss. On October 30th, she filed a second motion to dismiss and to strike the first amended complaint after the Macrons amended their complaint. So 2 files she filed twice to dismiss the case after you just watched what she said to Tucker about dismissals. History tells the true story, Candace. The current hearing on that motion is now scheduled for June 22nd, coming up here in June. It initially was last Tuesday, but as most of you know at this point, her attorney dropped her. Her attorney dropped her. The attorney dropped Candace. So they moved this motion to dismiss to June. So this will be the third time after watching what you just did and watched how she played tough guy to Tucker. So, okay, Candace. So now you guys know, as you're seeing on the screen again, why I said what I did to Candace last night. And of course, my comment is just everybody's loving it. They're liking it. They're all praising what we're doing with Fax Me, what you Factivists are doing. You know, we're a team effort here, and Candace is getting blown away. You guys might have seen on my Facebook the other day all of the hate and just negative comments Candace was receiving on X. There's a video on my profile if you want to check that out. It's like 3 minutes long. There wasn't a single positive comment, and it is still happening. I went on to her X page this morning to see, looking for material for the show. Negative comment after negative comment. She has turned the bots off, which I find really interesting because if you guys remember, I just did an episode, one of my live shows, proving that she used bots. But last week, early last week, maybe the week before, it's been a minute. And all of a sudden, the bots stop. I'm just saying, because now all we're seeing are the negative comments, which is fantastic. There's still good comments, but you know. All right, next on the plate, guys. Before I get into another thing with Candace Owens, let's mix this up a little bit. Guys, you know about the shooting at the White House Correspondents' Meeting. You know, the alleged shooter or would-be assassin, Cole Thomas Allen. Well, you guys have seen the surveillance footage, and I actually showed it on the show here yesterday, but a couple things I want to point out. You know, first and foremost, like I pointed out yesterday, as you guys are seeing on the screen, a security guard or law enforcement with the canine literally was right next to this man, looked right at him. And in a split second, this man comes running out of that room with a rifle. Okay, first off, this man should be fired. The security guard or whatever he is should be fired. He directly looked at this guy. The dog looked at him. And in a split second, like you're seeing on the screen, he comes running out with this rifle. You telling me you didn't see that? You didn't think, who are you? Why are you in this room? You didn't recognize this man? You are there protecting the president of the United States and all of these important people. And that didn't strike you as odd. But what does strike me as odd, and I'm putting these up on the screen right now so you can see them, is when you start looking at when this man, Cole Thomas Allen, comes rushing in, okay? There is the first shot fired, okay? And I've got a line of sight from this security guard officer, whatever he is, firing. You can see right at the tip of the barrel of the gun that it's fired. You can really see it live on the actual video. Direct line of sight. Okay, that's the first picture. The next picture shows again him firing, direct line of sight. Okay, and if he missed that guy, there's the security guard behind him. All right, and then we move to the next one. Let me find it. There it is. Okay. Another shot. So 3 shots at this guy. Were like you saw in those first two. I mean, direct, especially the very first one. The very first one is the one that really gets me, because that is like, he is right there, 6-7 feet from you. You are pointed right at him. And what bothers me too is I've watched this this footage over and over and over again. Okay. Clearly he didn't hit the assassin. Clearly. But these images that show the line of sight, you would think that he would. But the fact that he didn't, you're not seeing any debris. You're not seeing anything flying off the walls. You know, when the bullets are hitting the walls behind each and every shot, we should be seeing some kind of action. Not necessarily in that last picture, you know, because we can't see what's on the other side there. But that, especially that first one, he's firing directly at the man. And what's behind the man is 3 or 4 security guards standing there afraid for their life. And that line of sight goes to one of them and the wall, but nothing got hit. I have questions about that. Like, were there even real bullets in this pistol? Were these blanks? How was nothing hit? How are we not seeing the people behind the line of sight getting hit, or the wall, or the assassin himself? Now, one thing I will say, okay, is I'm playing both sides of this. This is surveillance footage that does not film at the same frame rate or the same frame speed per second that you would need to film bullet motion. Okay, so you couldn't accurately look at this and determine the speed of anything. Okay, you would need all of the surveillance footage. I mean, first and foremost, there are so many other variables that would go into that as well. But this is probably filmed at anywhere between 24 frames per second to maybe 60 frames per second. And then it's uploaded, then it's compressed for social media. so it's distorted. You're not getting a clear picture. So you couldn't really determine the velocity of anything based on this surveillance image alone. Okay. So I want to be fair here and say that what I'm saying, that the bullets didn't hit anything, that's how it appears. But we also don't have all of the variables. But the only thing that really throws me off is not seeing a bullet hit anything. And this line of sight that you can clearly see on the screen, a bullet just doesn't disappear. When you fire it, if you don't hit the target, it hits the next thing behind it. So I wanted to bring that up, see what you guys thought. Again, a lot of variables with this. Maybe I'll talk to Paramount Tactical, see what he thinks about it. But anyways, moving on. Next thing I want to show you guys is yesterday I had made a video, not necessarily poking fun at Candace. I mean, even though I was, but pointing out the fact that she's sitting there all morose, talking about Charlie Kirk watching her, and pretty much insinuating he's approving of what she's doing. And then immediately following that up with, buy my merchandise. So watch that video I posted from yesterday, because that leads into what I'm about to show you. Check this out.
Fighting for Charlie. Thank you for keeping the story as alive as you have. Thank you guys for caring about this story. I gotta think that he is watching, actually, and helping in any way that he can. I also want to tell you guys a great way to support us, obviously, always, is the merch store. Buy yourself a t-shirt, buy yourself a hat, go to CandaceOwens.com.
I gotta think like he's like watching, actually, and helping in any way he can. Guys, even though I am a multi-millionaire and my husband comes from generational wealth and I married into those millions and I used dozens of rich white men to platform me, I need your money. That's right. My ass is getting sued left and right and I need your money. Buy that merch. This woman is absolutely psychotic. She belongs in a mental institution, period. And frankly, I'm really starting to think that her cultists, her sheep, belong there too. How can you not see right through this woman? All right, you guys just checked out that video. It's kind of like, on one hand, you're saying, oh, he's watching over me, blah, blah, blah. Oh, but by the way, buy the merchandise. Well, she's done it again. She has done it again. Guys, check out this clip.
Anyways, 2 Cent writes, why is everyone suing and not helping with the investigation? All of them had direct access with Charlie Kirk. Instead of helping, they are suing. Who and what information are they protecting? Go Max. Yeah, well, thinking clearly through what going Max means, maybe that's how we do it. We can just start actually selling that Go Max gear, a hat or whatever it is.
All right, you guys, you just checked out that clip. She was reading viewers' questions and comments, whatever, and she reads it and then instantly goes to talking about selling her Go Max merchandise. I keep saying it, you can't write better material. Better material. All right, guys, I'm if you haven't noticed, I'm trying to move along these lives a little bit more productively for you guys. That, and with me being at work, somebody could walk through that door at any moment. And then it could get interesting. I don't know. Anyways, last thing I want to show you is what I alluded to at the beginning of the show. Where it has come out, this has been a theory for many of us. We know that Candace Owens is tied to Mappin. We have had so many theories of her having ties to Russia. Well, this man, Ryan Murrow, however you say his name, I think I follow him on Facebook, as a matter of fact. Let me go make sure before I tell you a lie. I don't want to do that. Pretty sure, because he looks, yep. No, I don't follow him, but there he is. Okay. No, wait a minute. This isn't the page. That's his personal page. Here he is. Here's the one I follow. Ryan Murrow, counter extremism and international affairs analyst. So that is what this guy is. He is counter extremism and international affairs analyst. All right. So my dude, David Harris Jr., he has a show called The Pulse on Newsmax, and he had Ryan on the show last night. And like I said, a Factivist got up with me about it because he was exposing Candace Owens' ties to Russia. And I couldn't find it anywhere. I spent hours this morning until I finally just messaged the Factivists back and I said, I can't find this anywhere. Like, you got to pay to get it. I got a free trial on Fubo and Sling TV. It wasn't there. So then I canceled my account. I was trying to get this footage. So she took it upon herself to film it for me with her cell phone. And that's what you guys are about to watch. It's a little over 4 minutes long. Check this out. I want you to hear it straight from the horse's mouth. This is David Harris Jr. interviewing Ryan Morrow. And again, Ryan, this is what he does. Okay. He is a counter extremism and international affairs analyst. Okay. He, analysis of national developments with an emphasis on, Islamic extremism, Middle Eastern issues. He researches into biblical history and archaeology, this, that, and the other thing. So he's a guy you'd listen to, a scholar type. I've watched a few of his speeches online. He needs to work on his humor. He's kind of dry. He's kind of dry. He tries to be funny, but he's kind of dry. Just stick to your facts, buddy. Just stick to your facts. But anyways, you guys watch this, and we will be right back.
Great things, but as far as the actual doctrine that they go by, there was three main issues. So I said, okay, if you're trying to take the direction and focus away from what Charlie was all about, which he was all about Jesus, that's Antichrist, period. It's anti-Jesus. It's Antichrist in nature. So it's absolutely evil, and I don't doubt that there's people they're very connected and very well funded that are helping to promote her voice and other voices that are out there being very anti-Semitic and trying to really tear this country apart. Do you think that the country, though, so many people follow her and Tucker, and they're just going off the rails? Do you think people will wake up to this if they knew more of the truth?
If we keep hammering these points I'm making every single day, eventually they have to. We have to break through the algorithm. By the way, Alexander Dugin, the Russian intel operative that I mentioned before that interacts with Candace Owens, Tucker interviewed him. He's also promoted by Alex Jones as like an authoritative foreign policy voice. So there is a much more insidious thing going on than just personal resentment on the part of Candace Owens. And by the way, I forgot to mention, Candace has actually endorsed the Putin-style form of government. Tucker has endorsed the feudal system. So I don't know how they can go around claiming to be America first when you're saying that America as a founding principle, its founding government, is wrong. You cannot be a fan of the feudal system and say that's what we should have, or that we should have a Putin-style czar in power and claim to be a genuine patriot.
No, you absolutely can't. I've also heard Tucker say that the Sharia law isn't that bad, which is just completely abhorrent and really stupid, and nothing that he said the opposite just years ago. All we can do, friends, is turn them off. Don't listen to them. Don't support them. Don't share it. Don't go watch them. Turn them off, period. Ryan Morrow, really appreciate your insights tonight, brother. God bless. Thanks for doing the Pulse.
God bless. Thank you.
Stick around for my own little research on how much money allegedly Candace has probably made since she's been making videos about Charlie and blaming everybody under the sun. And it's in the millions of dollars in just the last 6-7 months. Now, a 2025 YouGov study found that 22% of liberals under the age of 44 say that it's okay to feel happy when a political opponent dies. Now, the whole world watched Charlie's final moments. Do you think this generation is just being completely desensitized to brutal killings, especially because of unfiltered social media access?
I don't think that they're desensitized to it. I think they're attracted to it. And I think it's by design, partially because it's a profit model, but also because adversaries of the United States want this filth to be in our society. I mean, there's a Russian intelligence operative who runs influence campaigns. His name is Alexander Dugin, who is sanctioned by the U.S. government because of his influence operations, who has said that his strategy is to stir up hatred and discord within the United States, so that if you have a disagreement with someone, that's the type of hateful sentiment that follows. You can't just have a disagreement. No, it always has to be war, 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 and so that America starts to rip itself apart. And guess what? That Russian intelligence agent interacts with Candace Owens. And Candace Owens also has another advisor, close friend, John Mappin, who is closely associated with Alexander Dugin, that Russian intelligence operative, and he's also connected to the Church of Scientology. That's weird when you have those types of influences in your immediate social circle. And by the way, Russian state media, Iranian and Chinese state media as well, propaganda operatives, all amplify her and these conspiracy theories. So they have decided that the way to hurt America is to hurt Erica Kirk and Turning Point USA, and the best way to do that is to help Candace Owens.
Wow. Wow. And it is evil. It's directly from the pit of hell. I mean, I sensed that just weeks after Charlie's murder, when she started trying to say, oh, Charlie was going to become a Catholic. It's like, A, if he was, that's still his business. B, I know he wasn't. I talked to him. I know pastors that are very close to him. He just, a couple months prior to his death, said that he had 3 major issues with Catholicism. He said he loves Catholics. Catholics are great. They're pro-life. There's a lot of...
All right, my friends, you just checked that out. This was national news, man. People are exposing Candace for who she really is. And this is fantastic. It's been a long time coming. And it seems like now that first domino has been pushed. It's just every day, guys, there is something else collapsing for her. And I just can't have any sympathy for that. Any sympathy. I don't have sympathy for evil. I'm sorry. I don't. But lastly, speaking of no sympathy, I want to bring back up the Time magazine cover. You guys see it there on the screen. Vile Person of the Year. Time with good old Candace Owens on the front, right? Well, a urban-based, I guess you would say, black community kind of based news outlet called Hip Hop Wired covered the story. And you can see the headline on the screen. It says, Candace Owens, the latest recipient of Donald Trump's racist, low IQ insult. But you notice what it says. Black folks are stunned, but are stopping short of offering Candace Owens sympathy. Okay? And further down this article is black folks are reminding Candace Owens. Let me bring this up a little bit bigger on the screen so you guys can see it. All right. Candy's someone who's got in bed with the white supremacist movement, and now they are attacking her. We wish her the best. But we in the black community will not defend her. This is the same woman who justified police murder and torture against black Americans. So now, Candace, you are reaping what you have sown. You are being reaped. You're being raped. There is a reaping, and you are the subject. You are the target. The black community is not backing you. They are not supporting you because, as I said in yesterday's live, you pushed them to the curb. You pushed them to the curb and used white men and just tried to live the white life culture, whatever you want to call it. You are on record dissing your own community, your own heritage, your own culture, right? And they're done with you. They are done with you. We in the black community will not defend her. Period. That is straight from Hip Hop Wired. And it even says no lies detected. So you're not even getting support from the black community. And I just wanted to point that out to you guys, that her castle is crumbling brick by brick. And it is not going to be rebuilt. Not after this. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the show. I tried to be a little more productive and fluid with everything and not ramble on so much. We covered a lot today. We covered Ben Shapiro going after Candace. We covered Candace begging for money. We talked a little bit about that surveillance footage with Cole Allen and why trajectory of bullets should maybe be questioned. Were there bullets at all? Why was that security guard looking right at the assassin and just let him on by? We need to hear some answers on this stuff. But that's just based solely on that singular piece of surveillance. So there's a lot more that goes into it. I'm not ruling anything. I'm not sitting here saying it was staged. I'm not saying, because I don't think it was. I'm just sitting here saying, I'm just so curious at how a man can be so close and fire so many times and not hit anything in an enclosed building. You see nothing. You see nothing other than the muzzle blast. But that direct line of sight, he should have hit the guy or what was behind him. So we'll talk about that more. I'm going to put my feelers out like I suggested with Graham Allen, Paramount Tactical, see what he thinks. Hey, maybe he's already covered it. I don't know. I don't get much time to watch anybody else, which really sucks. But anyways, and we showed you some footage from Newsmax revealing Candace Owens' ties to Russia and John Mappin. Things are unraveling. We showed you how she acts tough, says she's not going to dismiss a case, but then has tried to now almost 3 times with the Bridget case to dismiss it. Then she talks tough yesterday about this Brian Harpole lawsuit and how she thinks she's got the upper hand, and she couldn't be further from the truth. So guys, please keep your comments coming. Please keep the shares coming. If you know anybody that is like-minded in your family, in your friends circles, suggest they come check out Facts Me and join us. Join the Factivists. The more, as we grow, the more we can make the truth the standard, because that's what we're trying to do here. The truth needs to be the standard, not entertainment. I think I told you guys when I first started out with Facts Me, my goal was to find that middle ground. Because let's face facts. I'll be the first to tell you, sitting and watching a news broadcast in most cases is the most boring thing in the world. It really is. So my philosophy is entertain you while delivering the facts, right? There is no rule saying that you can't be silly, that you can't crack jokes, that you can't do parodies, that you can't do these things that entertain my audience, but at the same time educate them. Okay. And that's what we're seeing here. You know, I had somebody say to me the other day, you're so different. You are so different than all of these other influencers and commentators and podcasters, you know, because you like show a humanistic side and you make us laugh and you make things entertaining. You're using it as a creative outlet as well. And I appreciate that because that's exactly what I'm trying to do. It's exactly what I'm trying to do. If I would have just stuck to stale, boring, unemotional facts, I wouldn't be sitting here today. No, but none of you would, right? I mean, anybody can Google search something and say, oh, okay, so that's what happened yesterday. Moving on. And you go about your day, right? I want to build relationships. That's why I'm here. Again, build this army of people that are making the truth the standard, the expectation, right? Guys, I want you all to have a fun and safe and happy weekend. Enjoy time with your family, your animals, whatever works for you, whatever makes you smile. God is good, my friends. God has delivered you all to me. And I feel like I'm on the right path here, that I'm on the right path, and what we're doing is for the greater good. And you guys are just as responsible for that as I am. And I want you to know that I forever remain humbled. So take care, my friends. And we'll be back tomorrow with another Facts Me Live.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? Obviously,
you are, my dear Candace. You are. Unless, of course, you count Erica Kirk, and then she's like way out of your league. You're not really that great. I'm sorry. I don't know why I misled you.
No! 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 Ah! Ah! No! My Charlie! My Charlie! Making gay! Fake and gay! Hush-a-bye, Charlie, don't you roam. I've stitched your name into my home, threaded in curtains, tucked in seams. You live in all my little dreams. Hush-a-bye, Charlie, in my thread I sew your shadow to my bed.
Every breath you take and every move you make, every time I take, every time I'm fake, you'll be watching me. Actually, every single day and every word I say, every clip